The journey of a soul seeker is one of the most profound and transformative paths a person can embark upon. It is a quest that takes us deep into the hidden realms of consciousness, pushing us to explore the very essence of our being and our place in the cosmos. But for those who feel called to this path, there is one insight that stands above all others, one realization so precious that it must be guarded and nurtured like the rarest gold. This insight is the key that unlocks the deepest mysteries of existence. Yet it is also incredibly fragile and easily lost amidst the noise and distraction of everyday life. What is this golden insight that soul seekers must protect at all costs? It is the direct, felt experience of our own divine nature, the visceral knowing that we are not separate from the universe, but are in fact manifestations of the infinite creative consciousness that birthed all of existence. This realization goes far beyond intellectual understanding or belief. It is a profound shift in the very foundation of our being, dissolving the illusion of separation and revealing the interconnected oneness at the heart of reality. When we touch this truth, even for a fleeting moment, it changes everything. The world is suddenly infused with magic and meaning. We see through fresh eyes, recognizing the sacred in every blade of grass, every stranger on the street, every challenging situation we face. Our sense of identity expands beyond the limited ego self, embracing all of creation. We feel intimately connected to the unfolding dance of the cosmos, knowing that we play an integral part in its grand design. This insight is the philosopher's stone of spiritual alchemy, capable of transmuting the lead of our mundane existence into the gold of awakened consciousness. It is the treasure hidden in plain sight that all the great mystics, sages, and enlightened masters throughout history have pointed to. And yet, for all its immense value, this realization is incredibly delicate. A flickering flame that can be snuffed out by the winds of doubt, fear, and forgetfulness. That is why those who have glimpsed this truth must protect and nurture it with fierce devotion. We must tend to the embers of our awakening, fanning them into a blazing fire that illuminates our entire being. This requires vigilance, commitment, and a willingness to orient our whole life around deepening our connection to ultimate reality. It means swimming against the current of a culture that constantly pulls us back into unconsciousness and separation. But for those courageous enough to undertake this holy task, the rewards are beyond measure. As we learn to abide more consistently in the truth of our divine nature, our entire experience of life is transformed. We tap into wellsprings of love, creativity, and wisdom that we never knew existed within us. We become channels for healing and awakening in the world around us. We discover our unique gift and purpose, and are empowered to offer it in service of the greater good. So how exactly does one protect and nurture this precious insight? There is no one-size-fits-all formula, as each soul's journey is unique. But there are certain principles and practices that can help us stay anchored in the truth of our being, even as we navigate the ups and downs of human life. Let us explore some of these key elements of the path. First and foremost, we must make a sincere commitment to awakening. This means prioritizing our spiritual growth and evolution above all else. While we may still engage fully in work, relationships, and worldly pursuits, our primary allegiance is to the unfolding of consciousness within us. We recognize that nothing in the external world can truly fulfill us or bring lasting peace. Only by realizing our true nature can we find the deep contentment and sense of purpose we long for. This commitment manifests as a burning desire to know the truth, not just intellectually, but experientially. We become spiritual warriors, willing to face our fears and shadows in order to unveil the light of awareness. We cultivate insatiable curiosity about the nature of reality and our own consciousness. This does not mean we become overly serious or disconnected from the joys of life. On the contrary, our commitment to awakening allows us to engage with the world more fully and joyfully, free from the burden of ego identification. Another crucial aspect of protecting our insight is developing a consistent spiritual practice. This might take the form of meditation, prayer, contemplation, yoga, or any other modality that helps us connect with our deeper essence. The specific technique matters less than the regularity and sincerity with which we approach it. By carving out dedicated time each day to turn inward and remember our true nature, we create an anchor point amidst the chaos of daily life. These practices serve multiple purposes. They help quiet the incessant chatter of the mind, allowing us to access deeper states of consciousness. They strengthen our capacity to remain present and aware, even in challenging circumstances. And perhaps most importantly, they provide a container for us to integrate and embody the profound insights we've glimpsed. It's one thing to have a momentary experience of awakening. It's another to actually live from that place consistently. Regular practice bridges the gap between fleeting realizations and stable abidance in our true nature. Of course, formal practice alone is not enough. We must also learn to bring the light of awareness into every aspect of our lives. This means cultivating mindfulness and presence throughout our day, whether we're washing dishes, having a conversation, or facing a difficult decision at work. We train ourselves to continually return to the immediacy of our direct experience, rather than getting lost in mental stories and projections. This moment-to-moment attentiveness allows us to recognize the ever-present backdrop of pure awareness that underlies all of our experiences. We begin to see that our true nature is not something far off or separate from our daily lives, but is in fact the very essence of every experience we have. The ordinary becomes extraordinary as we perceive the sacred dimension inherent in all things. Another key to protecting our insight is surrounding ourselves with supportive community and teachings. The path of awakening can be challenging and lonely at times, especially in a culture that often doesn't understand or value the spiritual journey. By connecting with like-minded individuals who share our commitment to truth, we create a field of resonance that amplifies our own awakening. We find encouragement, inspiration, and accountability to stay true to our deepest knowing. This community might take the form of a spiritual group or sangha, a close circle of friends on the path, or even connecting with the lineage of awakened beings throughout history through study and contemplation. The important thing is that we don't try to go it alone. We recognize that we are part of a vast tapestry of souls, all engaged in the process of remembering our divine nature. By supporting each other, we accelerate our collective evolution. Similarly, immersing ourselves in wisdom teachings can provide vital nourishment and guidance for the journey. Whether we resonate with ancient spiritual texts, the words of contemporary teachers, or the universal language of nature, we seek out sources of higher truth that speak to our souls. These teachings serve as signposts, reminding us of what we've glimpsed in moments of clarity and pointing the way forward when we feel lost. At the same time, we must be discerning in our approach to teachings and teachers. The true guru is the inner light of awareness within us. External sources of wisdom should always be tested against our own direct experience. We take what resonates and leave the rest, trusting our own innate knowing above any external authority. This requires developing a finely tuned intuition and the courage to think for ourselves, rather than blindly following any particular tradition or teacher. As we progress on the path, we inevitably encounter obstacles and challenges that threaten to obscure our insight. The ego mind is clever and persistent in its attempts to reassert control and convince us that we are separate, limited beings. We may experience periods of doubt, fear, and confusion that shake our faith in what we've realized. This is a natural and necessary part of the journey, as it allows us to integrate our insights more deeply and root out subtle forms of delusion. During these times, it's crucial that we don't abandon our commitment or fall into despair. We must remember that awakening is not a linear process, but rather a spiral path of ever-deepening realization. What appears as a setback or dark night of the soul often precedes a major breakthrough. By staying true to our practice and continuing to show up for the work of awakening, we build the resilience needed to weather these storms. One powerful antidote to doubt and confusion is to regularly reflect on and reconnect with our most profound spiritual experiences. We can keep a journal of insights and realizations, creating a personal treasure trove of wisdom to draw upon in challenging times. By vividly remembering the feeling of those peak moments when we touch the truth of our being, we reignite the fire of awakening within us. This doesn't mean clinging to past experiences, but rather using them as touchstones to inspire our continued evolution. Another essential aspect of protecting our insight is learning to navigate the often turbulent waters of human relationships and emotions. As we awaken, we may find that our priorities and perspective shift dramatically, creating tension with those around us who don't understand our journey. Old patterns of relating based on ego needs and fears begin to fall away, sometimes leaving us feeling isolated or misunderstood. The key here is to practice patience, compassion, and clear communication, both with ourselves and others. We recognize that everyone is on their own unique path, and we don't try to force our insights on those who aren't ready or interested. At the same time, we stay true to our own knowing, even if it means making difficult choices about who we spend time with or how we engage in relationships. As our realization deepens, we discover that true love and connection actually flow more freely when we're not seeking to get our needs met from others, but rather relating from a place of wholeness and unconditional presence. We learn to hold space for the full spectrum of human emotions, both our own and others, without getting caught up in drama or losing touch with our deeper nature. This allows for more authentic, fulfilling relationships rooted in genuine intimacy, rather than codependence or projection. One of the most powerful ways to protect and deepen our insight is through selfless service and contribution to the greater good. As we recognize our fundamental interconnectedness with all of life, we naturally feel called to be of benefit to others and to the planet as a whole. This might manifest as formal volunteer work, creative expression that uplifts and inspires, or simply bringing more kindness and presence to our everyday interactions. By aligning our actions with our highest truth, we create a positive feedback loop that reinforces our realization. We see firsthand how our state of consciousness impacts the world around us, motivating us to continue doing the inner work of awakening. Selfless service also helps prevent spiritual bypassing or getting stuck in self-absorbed navel-gazing. It grounds our insights in practical reality and keeps us engaged with the world rather than trying to escape it. At the same time, it's important to maintain balance and not fall into the trap of spiritual martyrdom or savior complexes. True service comes from a place of fullness and joy, not obligation or ego-driven need to fix others. We learn to give without attachment to outcomes, trusting in the innate intelligence of life to unfold as it will. Our role is simply to be a clear channel for love and wisdom to flow through us, knowing that this alone is the greatest gift we can offer the world. As we continue to nurture and protect our insight, we may find that our entire relationship to spirituality and awakening shifts. What began as a quest for personal enlightenment evolves into a recognition that there is no separate self to be enlightened in the first place. We see that awakening is not about achieving some special state or becoming a perfected being, but rather about fully embracing our humanity while resting in the infinite spaciousness of our true nature. This paradoxical unity of form and emptiness, of being fully human while knowing ourselves as boundless awareness, is the pinnacle of spiritual realization. It allows us to play in the world with lightness and spontaneity, no longer burdened by the weight of a separate self that needs to be protected or improved. We discover the exquisite freedom of being nobody going nowhere, even as we fully engage in the dance of life. From this place of radical openness and trust in the unfolding of existence, we naturally embody the qualities of wisdom and compassion that all spiritual traditions point to. We no longer need to try to be loving or peaceful or wise. These qualities simply radiate from us as expressions of our true nature. We become living examples of the transformative power of awakening, inspiring others not through preaching or proselytizing, but through the authenticity and depth of our being. And yet, even as we touch the heights of realization, we remain ever humble students of life. We recognize that there is always more to discover, always deeper levels of truth to be unveiled. The journey of awakening is endless, with each insight opening the door to new mysteries and possibilities. This keeps us fresh, curious, and open to the magic and wonder of existence. So, to all you brave soul seekers out there, I implore you, protect this precious insight like the rarest gold. Tend to the flame of your awakening with unwavering dedication and love. Let it infuse every aspect of your life, transforming you from the inside out. Trust in the wisdom of your own being, even when the path seems dark or uncertain. Remember that you are not alone on this journey. You are supported by the countless awakened beings who have walked this path before you, and by the very intelligence of life itself, which is always guiding you home to your true nature. Stay true to your deepest knowing, and don't be afraid to let it shatter everything you thought you knew about yourself and reality. The world desperately needs more fully awakened human beings, people who have touched the truth of their divine nature and are courageously living from that place. By protecting and embodying your insight, you become a beacon of light in a world that often seems lost in darkness. You demonstrate that another way of being is possible, one rooted in love, wisdom, and the recognition of our fundamental interconnectedness. So dive deep, soul seekers. Tend to your inner flame with fierce devotion. Let the truth you've glimpsed become the foundation of your entire life. Protect your insight not by hiding it away, but by fully embodying it in every moment. For in doing so, you fulfill your highest purpose and offer the greatest gift you can to yourself and to the world. The journey of awakening is the grandest adventure a human being can undertake. It will challenge you to your core, strip away everything false, and reveal the breathtaking beauty of your true nature. There is no greater calling, no more worthwhile endeavor. So take heart, stay committed, and trust in the process. The insight you protect today is the seed of a fully awakened life, one that will bless you and all beings in ways you cannot yet imagine. May all beings recognize the light of awareness shining within them. May we all remember our true nature as expressions of the infinite creative consciousness that birthed the cosmos. And may we protect and nurture that realization with every breath, every thought, every action, until the whole world is illuminated by the radiance of our collective awakening. As the journey of the soul seeker continues, the golden insight that once seemed so elusive becomes an ever-present reality. What was once protected like a fragile flame grows into an unquenchable fire, illuminating every aspect of life. The seeker realizes that the very act of protection is transformed into a dance of expression, where the truth of their being naturally radiates out into the world. This shift marks a profound milestone on the path. No longer is awakening something to be achieved or maintained through effort. Instead, it becomes the effortless ground of being from which all action springs forth. The seeker finds themselves living in a state of perpetual wonder, where each moment unfolds as a fresh revelation of the divine. In this space of openness, life takes on a dreamlike quality. The hard edges of separation dissolve, revealing a world of infinite possibility and interconnection. The seeker moves through their days with a lightness of being, unburdened by the weight of a separate self that needs defending. They discover a deep trust in the inherent perfection of existence, even amidst apparent chaos or suffering. This trust allows them to meet life's challenges with equanimity and grace. Where once they might have resisted or recoiled from difficult experiences, they now welcome them as opportunities for deeper awakening. Every interaction, every emotion, every thought becomes a gateway to greater realization. The seeker learns to dance with whatever arises, neither grasping nor pushing away, but simply allowing life to flow through them. As this embodiment deepens, the seeker finds that their very presence becomes a catalyst for transformation in others. Without any need to teach or convert, they naturally inspire those around them to question their own limiting beliefs and explore the depths of their being. The light of their awakening acts like a mirror, reflecting back to others their own innate divinity. Yet even as they touch the heights of realization, the soul seeker remains deeply humbled by the vastness of existence. They recognize that awakening is not a destination to be reached, but an ever-unfolding journey of discovery. Each insight opens the door to new mysteries. Each answer gives birth to more profound questions. This keeps them perpetually fresh and curious, always open to learning and growth. In this space of mature awakening, the seeker finds the exquisite balance between being and doing. They are able to rest in the infinite stillness of their true nature, while fully engaging in the dynamic play of life. Their actions flow from a place of spontaneous rightness, guided by an intelligence far greater than the limited mind. They become instruments of the divine, channels through which the universe expresses its creative power. As their realization ripens, the soul seeker discovers that the ultimate protection of their insight comes not from guarding it, but from giving it away freely. They recognize that the truth of our shared divine nature can never be diminished by sharing. In fact, it only grows stronger and brighter the more it is offered to others. So they pour themselves out in service to life, holding nothing back. This outpouring might take countless forms: acts of kindness, creative expression, healing work, or simply being a compassionate presence for others. Whatever shape it takes, it is marked by a quality of selflessness and unconditional love. The seeker no longer acts from a place of personal desire or ambition, but rather allows themselves to be moved by the needs of the moment and the impulse of evolution itself. In this way, the journey that began as a personal quest for enlightenment culminates in a life lived in service to the awakening of all beings. The seeker recognizes that their own liberation is inseparable from the liberation of the whole. They see clearly that we are all cells in the body of humanity, each playing a vital role in our collective evolution. This recognition brings with it a profound sense of purpose and meaning. The seeker understands that every act of kindness, every moment of presence, every insight shared ripples out to affect the entire web of life. They become a force for healing and transformation in the world, not through grandiose actions, but through the simple yet revolutionary act of living from their deepest truth. As they near the end of their human journey, the soul seeker looks back on their path with immense gratitude. They see how every experience, every challenge, every moment of grace has served their awakening. They recognize the perfection in all that has unfolded, even the parts that seemed darkest or most difficult at the time. And as they prepare to merge back into the infinite ocean of consciousness from which they arose, they offer one final gift to the world: the living testament of a life fully lived, a heart fully opened, a soul fully realized. They leave behind a trail of light for others to follow, knowing that their journey of awakening will inspire countless others to embark on their own. In their final moments, as the boundaries of individual existence begin to dissolve, the soul seeker rests in the profound peace of knowing that nothing is truly ending. They recognize that awakening is eternal, consciousness is infinite, and the dance of existence will continue long after their physical form has returned to the elements. With their last breath, they offer a blessing to all beings, seen and unseen, born and unborn. May all awaken to the truth of their divine nature. May all protect and nurture the precious insight of their innate freedom. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And so the journey of the soul seeker comes full circle, ending where it began, in the vast, loving awareness that is our true home. The insight that was once protected like gold has blossomed into a radiant sun, illuminating the entire cosmos with its light. And in that brilliance, countless other seekers are inspired to begin their own journey home to the heart of all that is.